Good morning, students. I'm Ken Kumar, lecturer in English. Today, our lesson is phonetics. So, what is phonetics and what is its scope? What is the use of phonetics? And why do we learn phonetics? This is the theme of the lesson. Today, we see that sounds are produced when we inhale, not inhale air, but when we exhale the air. Exhale means when you sends out your air through the nostrils or your mouth. So this is what we call sound. Sound is nothing but the air which we release out. That is called sound. So when they are obstructed, that means when the exhalations are obstructed by some of our vocal organs, that is what we call different consonant sounds. And when there is no obstruction, when the air comes freely through the windpipe and through the lungs comes out freely, that is called vowel sounds. So whatever sounds are there, if you want to study the sounds systematically, you need some things to learn there. That is called what we call phonetics. Phonetics is the science. That means it is a systematic study of speech sounds, and it helps you in studying pronunciation of the sounds, and how to pronounce the sounds, how to utter the sounds, letters, etc. So this is what we call phonetics. So phonetics, English is a phonetical language. That means suppose receive is there, RECEIVE, receive. In this C gives sa sound. At the same time, suppose the same C gives ka sound also. Success, SUCCESS. In that suck, SUC, suck, ka sound C is giving. In the same way, the next C is giving sa sound. So this is phonetical language. We can't expect the pronunciation of the word according to the letters situated there. So that's why we need phonetics to study the sounds in English language. Then one may ask one thing. Suppose how can we study phonetics? So what is there in phonetics? In phonetics, each and every sound is categorized, and each and every sound is specified and separated. So for some sounds we use some types of particular emblems or particular diagrams or particular types of some photos, pictures. So suppose symbols, what we call symbols. So these symbols are used for denoting the identifying the sounds. So let us see that how sounds are categorized, and in that one we know, first of all, the the sound system in English is irregular. So that's why we can see that in your textbook phonetics is necessary for studying the speech sounds. It is given like this, see, and it helps you in identifying the pronouncing the sounds and symbols that are used to show the sounds. So phonetics help the learner with the pronunciation of sounds and words by showing them in uniform symbols that are internationally accepted and used. So in phonetics we allot some symbols for sounds, and these symbols are always at all the areas in all the countries, they are same. So and let us see that next, it is our pronunciation system, vocal cords and also nasal cavity, that means teeth ridge. So here you can see that larynx, vocal cords. These vocal cords are very important because they vibrate here and there and produce some sounds. So uvula, we know uvula, small tongue, what we call oral cavity, and this is called the upper alveolar ridge, lower alveolar ridge. One moves, upper alveolar ridge never moves. Alveolar ridge means the teeth ridge to which the teeth attached. So this lower alveolar ridge, we always move the lower alveolar ridge, not upper alveolar ridge. Upper alveolar ridge is standard. And so tongue is divided into three. First tip of the tongue, first starting of the tongue. Next tongue blade, sides of tongue, they are called tongue blade. And end of the tongue, that is the end of the tongue. Nasal cavity is there. By using these, we generally utter the sounds. And let us see that here Some organs in this total system is called articulatory system, articulatory organs. This is articulatory organ. So these all help us to pronounce different sounds, either nasal sounds, or that means bilabial sounds. Bilabial means two lips joined together and make sound pa, ba, ma, like that. So these are bilabial. Nasal sounds means ng, n. They comes from the nostrils, the air. So these are nasal sounds. Whatever sounds are there, they are all produced in the way. So first thing, these organs are called articulatory organs. Whatever organs which are used, suppose to pronounce any type of sound, which is that means speech sound, that is called articulatory organ. So these are all articulatory organs: tongue, lips, and also nasal cavity, alveolar ridges, viola, vocal cords, pharynx, larynx. These are all called articulatory organs. See that in the articulatory organs, some move and some don't move. Some are mobile, some are immobile. Some sounds, some articulatory organs move, some articulatory organs never move. So these are called. Suppose in articulatory system, we can divide this into two. That means mouth, throat, mouth organs, throat organs. Some organs which are helpful for pronouncing some sounds, they are called throat organs. Mouth, lips, tongue, these are all mouth organs. So let us see that active articulators, passive articulators. Two types of divisions are there. Active articulators means here it is given. See the organs. Look here, the organs which are capable of movement, that is called active articulators. What are they? See, lower lip, lip tip, braid, edge, that means the front, center and back of the tongue, these all move, so they are called active means moving. Next, passive articulators are there. Some are passive articulators. What are they? Passive articulators are what are these organs? Look here, in mouth, which are generally stationary means never move. What is that? Upper lip, upper alveolar ridge, teeth ridge, and soft palate, like soft palate means back of the alveolar ridge, some place is there, that is called soft palate. These never move, so they are stationary, they are passive articulators. Similarly, organs in throat. In the organs in throat means we see, come back, next here if you see organs in throat means here, from here onwards all the organs are called throat organs. In this, what is there? Epiglottis is there, vocal cords are there, larynx is there, okay, glottis is there, viola is there. These are all throat organs. These throat organs they also play a very important role in pronouncing sounds, without which we can't make it. Suppose there is a Apis adam is there on our throat, so in that vocal cords will vibrate. This is called, when vocal cords vibrate themselves, then the vibration is called voice. So there is a voice box or larynx, which we called Apis adam. Here some high place is there, see, this is called Apis adam. So this is called voice box or larynx, what we call. When the vocal cords are close to each other means vocal cords are always moves, comes near and goes back. When we utter the sound, they come near and goes back, goes apart. So when they come near and each other with a narrow gap, suppose these vocal cords are like this. Suppose vocal cords are two lip-like structures that is situated in the middle of the throat. Okay, so in this this is vocal cord, this is a vocal cord. When we press with the vocal cords, when we make some sound, these vocal cords come very near like this, and this narrow gap, from this narrow gap the air goes. When this comes, that is called, those sounds are produced, they are called voiced sounds. When vocal cords come near each other, then the sound produced is called what we call voiced sounds. Okay, in the same way, when the vocal cords are wide apart, that means suppose this is our throat, these are vocal cords. Suppose they wide apart means middle much gap is there and they become wide, they don't come near one to another. Then the sounds produced are called voiceless sounds. So with the sound system, you can observe that voiceless sounds, articulatory organs, In that articulate organs means what are articulate organs? Actually, the organs in the throat or mouth which are useful for pronouncing the sounds, speech sounds, they are called articulate organs. Articulate organs are divided into two types. What is that? Mouth, throat organs. In that, these organs are also active articulates, passive articulates. Two types of articulates are there. Some move and some don't move. Upper ulnar ridge don't move, and soft palate don't move. So these are all called passive articulates. Active articulates means tongue and lips, these all move, so they are called active articulates. So they together they form some sounds. When the vocal cords come very near and narrow gap is maintained in the throat, then the sounds are produced, they are called voiced sounds. When the vocal cords are very far from one another, they are called voiceless sounds. Okay.